Hello, my name's Jim Whalen. I'm from EMC's Global Solutions Group for SAP. I'm here to talk to you about an increasingly important topic for every SAP customer, always on SAP. What do I mean by always on SAP? Number one, more and more customers need to be open 24/7. Customers are becoming more demanding, wanting more choice, and highly responsive customer service. That leads to the IT organization. They need to assure service levels for the business with their SAP landscapes. They need to have agile IT, highly performance-oriented, which protects their data. But when you look at that, the dilemma is the dollars. It costs a lot for customers to ensure these types of service levels that the business is increasingly needing. So at EMC, we're working with many of our SAP customers around new thinking. So let me give you a little bit of context of what we mean. First of all, we think in terms of disaster avoidance. Many customers traditionally think about disaster recovery. What do I do after the disaster happens? So we want to help you. How do you avoid it to begin with? The second thing is sizing SAP for steady state. Now, what do we mean by that? Typically, SAP production environments are running the core processes of the business. And at different periods during the month, the quarter, or year end, there are peak requirements that you need for your systems in order to book orders or close your business for the quarter. So many customers traditionally invest in dedicated IT sized for those peak periods. High cost, low utilization. So we're talking about how do we size for steady state but have the agility to be able to respond to the peak demands. The third part of new thinking is just simply zero downtime maintenance. Even planned maintenance can impact your business if you have to take your applications down. I'm just going to give you a quick taste of how we achieve this with EMC in VMware. Here you have two sites, Site A, Site B. Typically, most customers have their local site. They might have a secondary site within a metro area. You have your data, your SAP data. These can run in the terabytes, even sometimes getting up to tens of terabytes for SAP in the business. You have the database. You have the database systems that are critical to managing the SAP data. And you've got the SAP applications themselves. So when you think about the data center, there's a lot of investments in both keeping it up and running as well as ensuring the high performance. So how can EMC help you in these areas of new thinking? The first thing we introduce is VPLEX. VPLEX, in effect, allows you to virtualize your SAP data. In other words, we can extract from the underlying arrays and simply make your data available at both data centers. So for your users, for your customers, for the business, they don't know if the data is located in Site A or Site B. It doesn't matter. We're able to have it on both sides so it's always available to be used by your SAP system. Also, it allows the databases, the typical clustering software they use for high availability and protection, to look at their SAP system as if it was stretched across, or running, if you will, within a local environment, although it's stretched across too. So it makes management easy. But if we add VMware in, for the database, many customers are virtualizing SAP databases today, and we would have virtualized with VMware the SAP applications. We have then fully extrapolated or virtualized both the database as well as the application servers. And if you start using VMware's tools around vMotion or HA or DRS for distributed resource management, managing performance. You're able to then move your SAP applications back and forth, your database back and forth. So if you depict any issues in any one area, you can move it. If you're running on a server in site A, but you need more processing power for peak periods, you can easily move the SAP system even across sites. So now you have been able to stretch your data centers or your SAP landscape across and cluster it across 2 physically separate sites. So what about the benefits? First of all, there's enabling 100% uptime. No more worries about keeping the business open 24/7. Reducing cost. We showed you examples of how we can size SAP for steady state versus performance. And finally, agility. Throughout this whole discussion, we showed you how you can be very agile in how you manage your SAP systems landscapes across 2 different sites. So if you like what you heard and want to learn more information, contact your EMC account executive or visit us at emc.com. Thank you.